what it do, what it ain't, what it is. It's your boy Booming, man. And we are back in the studio and we got another live for y'all. Today I wanted to go over the footage I was talking about yesterday in terms of Big Ben and Debo calling the defense vanilla. So let's get right into it.
Speaking of Steelers, man, my boy, my guy, Big Ben, he had a little, I guess he had a little bit of criticism for the vanilla Steelers defense ahead of the Ireland Vikings game. He said, to me, without studying our defense, it seems like we're pretty vanilla defense as it is. It doesn't feel like to me we're getting a lot of unique pressures, unique defenses. He said, even no, I think even Coach Tomlin said today in his press conference, he said something along the lines of situational and circumstances are preventing them from doing things. And I don't know what that means exactly. He added that he isn't sure what's preventing Pittsburgh from trying new things, but he sure hoped for things to change in the scheme.
What's preventing Pittsburgh from trying new things is Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin, and it's no different, man. People get stuck in their ways. People want to do what they want to do. And that's okay, but do it somewhere else. Okay, because if you're not open to innovation, if you're not open to change, if you're not open to like new things, then you're kind of stuck where you are. And that's not a good thing.
He suggested blitzing cornerback Jalen Ramsey and utilizing linebackers in different ways. So when I came back in was it 2014? Yeah, 2014.
And before we get into this, I do appreciate y'all for checking in. Good morning to you. I wanted to get a live stream in before I went back home to Pittsburgh, and I wanted to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, hope you all enjoy it. Let's get right into it again.
And I was with the Bengals in 13. Yeah, unretired. Came back. They got me to come back. When I came back, Dick LeBeau was still
they got me to come back.
They had changed that defense.
Okay.
And when he says it's vanilla, that is a true statement. They changed the defense to make it easier to learn and understand so that players could play sooner. So with the true Dick LeBeau Fire Zone, there is a real life learning curve. Like you could be in a defense that has you blitzing free, no responsibility, and they motion, and now you're locked up man on, number 3. But that's like a single nuance that you have to know. And every defense has one weakness. When you go and you try and change things to make it easier for player A or B to play, you create other weaknesses and gaps in the defense.
No, for sure.
I think what they're running into.
Man, that sounds like IT. I'm gonna let Debo cook, but that sounds a lot like IT and people that code and stuff like that, people that understand that kind of thing. A lot of people talk about like how you try to cover a mistake for another mistake, and you know what I'm saying, you just got this trail of digital coding that it's just like, okay, I see what you did all the way back over there. But that's crazy though. Like Debo said, every defense has a weakness, and when you try to fix that weakness by coming up with a quick fix, when you try to come up with a quick fix, you're just creating more holes in that defense. That's crazy.
With guys being out of place, people not being covered, is they're changing things so much to try and make it simpler, but they're adding more gaps and holes to the defense in the process.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the defense? Because I can speak on that. When I came in there in 2017, you were there too. And the way that the fire zones were and just the communication wise, it was good for me because I've been in being able to be, it was different. It was simple. It was vanilla, like you said, but it was easy because everybody, you could be able to understand some stuff. Like communication, you had to be able in communication with the linebackers because the defensive backs, the safeties and the linebackers, if there's motions, has to be communications. People have to start covering people. You could turn from like you said, a blitzer with no responsibilities to guarding 3, to guarding 2. You know what I'm saying? So having that communication is big. And when Coach Tomlin is saying that we're calling vanilla things, they're just simplifying, like just basically like cover 2s and just not like everybody staying in the simplified spots, but that's making other positions be able to, is errors. You know what I'm saying? It's making room for error. There's too much gray. Like you're saying, there shouldn't be gray. You should be able to do this. Player A can do this, player B can do this. But if you start saying, no, this dude is in this position, oh, we're going to start trying to move it and make these changes, it makes too much gray.
And that's why Minkah Fitzpatrick was our leading tackler for all those years. That's insane.
Like when you, like you said, this is what it is, and you got to be able to communicate that and stand on it instead of being able to, nah, they can't make this play. We're going to start moving and shifting things around. I don't. It creates confusion.
Yeah. Well, what it does is, especially for when I got back, even go to last year, the playoff game with was it Baltimore last year? Was that? Last year with Baltimore playoff game we had, was that Steelers playoff?
No.
Year before?
The Steelers last time they were in the playoffs, Brody,
they played the Ravens or something, didn't they?
No, they played the Browns.
It's a bad look, Joe.
Are you sure?
Bad look, Joe.
Or was it the last game of the? No, because Lamar was playing.
So it must have been the last game of the season. I don't know if it was the playoff game because we normally play the Ravens.
Yes, January. They got beat by the Ravens in the wild card game.
Okay.
So stomped.
I'm watching that game and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And the outside linebackers that's playing on the end, they're crashing down in the triple option to get to the fullback, where normally you play quarterback to pitch. What they had us do when we did it is we actually just ran down to smash the quarterback. That's what
you're supposed to do.
LeBeau changed it to.
That's how you supposed
when
to
I
play
saw
it.
the linebackers, the outside linebackers smashing down to try and get to the dive, I knew we was in trouble. They had changed it to something that I didn't even recognize. Like I even tweeted out, like, why are our outside linebackers crashing down?
Like basically what he's saying right there is like, why are you crashing down to get the running back? To beat that, you crash to hit the quarterback. Eventually, they will get tired of putting their quarterback in that position to be getting tagged the whole game. Like nobody's going to let their franchise quarterback just stand back there and keep getting hit all game long because they want to do read pass option. You hit the quarterback, not the running back.
A dive. Like now you got Lamar out here free and you got a safety coming down full speed and you think he ain't going to be able to get loose or pitch it off or whatever it may be. So that's like one of those things that I saw even from when after I was gone that had changed, you know? And like I said, when I came back, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're like, yeah, we had to simplify it. We called it dumb it down. They said they had to simplify it to make it easier for, you know, guys that they wanted to play now to be able to play. Where before the learning curve was at least a year, if not 2, before you could understand the whole concept of, you know, Dick LeBeau defense.
No, I get that, but I would respect it. I like the way that you said it, Bab. If you have a same coach that's there for a long time, that's creating a system that the player's going to have to eventually, it's going to take you a little learning curve to learn it, but once you get it, it's what the defense is. There's not going to be any gray. There's no mistakes there. I think that you got to take that time to get that learning curve in. But I know just coaches like this, no, this young dude, he's good. We're going to need to get him out on the field, no matter if he knows how to really handle this read option the correct way. We're just going to make him take quarterback every time. And then somebody else is going to have to.
You try and simplify it.
Try to dumb it down.
In that process, you mess up everything else that comes off of that. So now you got to adjust this. You got to adjust that. So now the safety that's supposed to be.
It's almost like you covering a lie with another lie, with another lie, with another lie. You got to keep lying to keep up with all the other lies.
You know, doing something else. Now he got to come down and take care of that. So now you're trying to fix one thing here, one thing there, but you're really adjusting sometimes the whole defense from it, or at least half of it.
I think that should go back to, at the end of the day too, with that, like, they would have to just do a better job of training camp installs. You know what I'm saying? Making sure these things are getting drilled, making sure these things are getting worked on. Like just the simple things. You know what I'm saying? If you have dive, if you don't have dive, like these are the core values of the defense. This is what we have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like the two motioning dudes around, like figuring out that stuff. So that all starts, I think, in training camp too. But making sure, like now, just the time that they're using, like, no, we're going to make it easier. Just being able to get out there. I don't like that particular way to do it.
Yeah, Steelers in Ireland, baby. So the Steelers,
who they got?
What you say?
Yeah, so I just wanted to show that real quick because I thought that was important. A lot of people talk about the defense and like what's the issue? What's wrong? You know, Big Ben called it out. You know, he said the defense looks vanilla. And James Harrison pretty much confirmed that the defense is vanilla. Why? Because they're watering down the product. They're watering down the defense to make it simple for guys to play sooner. You know, instead of letting them come up and learn the system. You know, and you know, to some degree I get it. You know, you spend like a high round, you know, draft pick on somebody, you want to see them play, but it's damaging them in the long run from doing what it is you ultimately want them to do, which is thrive in your true system. You don't want to dumb it down because you know that's hurting you in the long run. I did have a Ben clip that I had came across that I thought would be dope to see. And this is way back before the Vikings game as well. Basically Debo and Joe did a reaction video to this video and I did a reaction video to their video. So it's like it's all stemming from this video. So yeah, bear with me 1 second and let's get into this real quick.
It's always going to be the quarterback being protected, you know, and I never like to go with the lineman, but when you're watching that and you're watching someone get beat up and it's affecting the game, again, a win's a win. We can keep saying it, a win's a win, but this is that my hand when it comes to O-line playing is sitting right. I'm tapping the top of that glass case of that panic button. Just
100%. Here you go. What do you got here? Panic button, Cam.
Just touching the top of it, you know? So
yes,
that's a cause for concern. And again, it kind of leads to the offense all in all. Like, why is the offense? The offense looks great. They might lead the league in scoring on the opening possessions, right? You go down and score opening possession, that's awesome. They got a 14-0 lead. We talked in the game, man, this is going to be a blowout. Then all of a sudden it starts to settle in. And it's just like, what are we doing?
Well, the pulse.
What are we doing?
I mean, the pulse of the city, man, and the fan base is, of course, we're happy that we won, all right? Because that's going to matter in week 16 and 17, for sure. However, sitting here right now, I'm like, that many turnovers and you didn't put up 56 points, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I don't
with
disagree.
Aaron Rodgers, it's not like you have a rookie quarterback that needs to get, you know, accustomed to the speed of the game in this league. You have Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah, and Aaron came through at the end when you needed him to, right? He made some plays, he made some throws, he went down the field a little bit, got help with some penalties, and you know, you've got weapons. I think it was great that on that play call's third down, I think, and they ended up going past the sticks. I think the defender probably thought it was going to be a shorter. Yeah. You go to a guy that's probably not expected to get the ball, but you put it. I mean, that was a great throw. And the one to DK was a good throw, but DK is, I mean, that's a big window. The one to
I'm gonna fast forward to another part where they was talking about the defense as well, because that's a huge concern right now for everyone. It's not what we're used to as a fan base at all.
Jabril Peppers
played well.
Played really well, and obviously some extra motivation. But it's also like that's a dude. You know, that's a dude that's been around the league for a minute. But I'd love to see more blitzes.
Yeah,
I saw you.
Totally agree.
They did that in the preseason with Ramsey, and the series that he got was super effective. We used to do that all the time with Mike Hilton.
Yes, bring the nickel off the
why aren't we
slot.
doing? Where's that?
Mike was a very, very good blitzer. He had a great feel for it. We used to blitz Troy Polamalu. You blitz. You need to now. Troy's obviously he's different level, but let's see some secondary blitzes. Let's see some more linebackers go. Let's show some cover zero. Like, bring the house. Make the ball come out quick. Make them make a decision. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I wonder why we're not.
I don't know, but again, I'm not really sure why it is either.
So if you're just tuning in, man, you know, basically I'm going through old footage from Debo and Joe and footballing with Big Ben, because they basically called it out months ago that Our defense was vanilla. James Harrison confirmed it was. He said when he left, and that's the whole time when he went to Cincinnati, then he went to the Patriots, I want to say. Then he came back. He said when he came back, the defense had changed. They started changing stuff to make it easier for guys to get on the field sooner, so they could play. And he basically, talked about, all defenses have a weakness. And when you start to simplify things, within a system, you create more weaknesses. And it could be what we're seeing, like with the middle of the field being wide open. Like there could be the root cause of why that is. Like we are getting destroyed between the hashes. And so, that could be the root cause. But I wanted to play this video because these guys have firsthand knowledge of what is exactly going on. They're in the building. They're talking to people. And I think it's dope that they have platforms now to where like we could say as fans, oh, it looks this way. Well, now we can confirm it through them that it is that way. And I also wanted to play this clip also because yesterday I talked about Big Ben. Well, basically the whole live stream yesterday was about the players, speaking out, the players talking about what's going on with the Steelers and how they don't recognize it, how they've been around. They don't even recognize it, and James Harrison went so far to say that, just because you have a uniform on don't mean you're really a Steeler. And I'm gonna do a reaction video to just that specific statement in itself, because I think that's key. Guys, I mean, and even as fans, we gravitate towards certain guys. We gravitated towards Minka. We gravitated towards Troy. We gravitated towards Ben. Like there are certain guys, Hines, Le'Veon. Like there are certain guys that, we just gravitate towards as a fan base. I consider those guys to be guys that he's referring to as like real Steelers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to play this last clip because Ben also on his podcast, he asked the question. He said, yo, I worry sometimes. He was talking about the Vikings game, but he's like, I worry that we're going to get outcoached. And that's something that we fans say sometimes too. Like these young coaches that's coming up in the league right now, they are not to be played with. They are not to be trifled with, as Alfred said in The Dark Knight. Okay, like these guys are good. They're smart. They have very good like analytic teams. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a new thing. And so it's just like, man, it's just like it's a whole new world. And I really feel like the Steelers are behind. We're behind. So here goes that clip right here.
That the defense creates, which
yes, I agree,
is possible. So I mean, Carson Wentz, yeah, he's beaten the Steelers before, and JJ McCarthy would have been a way better quarterback to have in there for the Steelers.
Right.
But like you said, having Carson Wentz in there kind of changes the game a little bit, just because he has the veteran capability and he's been there before and he's played this team before, and I don't know if the offense can produce enough points.
I'll say this. Oh, that's probably this is too controversial. If I say that I think we're going to get out coached, is that controversial?
I mean, if you're telling the truth, it's not controversial.
I'll say this. I think Brian Flores is a very good defensive coordinator.
They'll let you know if it's controversial.
Yeah, sure. I'll say this. I'm not going to say. I'm going to say Brian Flores is a very good. Like he's going to call a good coordinator. I'm going to say he's better than Coach Austin, a good coordinator. I think Coach Kevin O'Connell.
You can say that Brian Flores is better than Terrell Austin. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And if it is controversial, it's Ben. You know what I'm saying? Ben left his heart out there. He wore his heart on his sleeve and he did his thing. He can be controversial because he backed it up with his play. So yeah, that's what I have for y'all today, man. I really wanted to get those two clips out because I remember they said it, but I wanted to just, confirm it, saying just show y'all that, yeah, like they said that like weeks ago, going on months ago at this point. So yeah, I mean, we should be concerned, but at the same time, it's really weird. Like 1 week our defense can play like lights out. the next week the defense can be so exposed, and it's just one of them things to where it just really feels like we have a good defense. We have the talent. We just don't have the coaching. We don't have the guidance. We don't have the guys to make the adjustments. We're the worst second half team. Well, one of the worst second half teams in the league this year. We make no adjustments. We bend, but we don't break, as they say, you know, in which I feel like we breaking. If we giving up 350 yards through the air, okay, what's considered being broke? Because I consider that to be broke. Okay, 350 yards through the air, no interceptions, no turnovers. There have been games where there's no turnovers. You know, the offense just going down the field, running through that expensive defense, just destroying that expensive car that we have. You know, and it's just like, wow, they dogging us like a rental car. So, but yeah, that's all for today. I did want to just get on and speak to y'all. I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate for those that kind of tiptoed in, tiptoed out, you know, for whatever time they had. Thank you all for your time, and I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace. Booming in the morning, booming in the evening, 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 booming in the morning.